Good evening. My name is Daryl Van Hoos, and I'm currently working on my master's degree for education. My goal is to be a social studies teacher in either middle school or high school. One of my current classes is Historical and Philosophical Foundations of Education. This video presentation is for that class. The assignment was Educational Thinker Presentation. For my educational thinker, I chose Benjamin Franklin. I chose Benjamin Franklin because my goal as a teacher is to infect my students with the same passion Benjamin Franklin had for education. As part of this assignment, I had to create a brochure that I would use in presenting this to a class. I will briefly go over my brochure. My brochure is trifold. On the cover, I have a painting of Benjamin Franklin with one of his famous quotes. The only thing more expensive than education is ignorance. Next is a section titled On His Early Life, then Education in the 19th Century, then a section titled Knowledge is Power, which discusses Franklin's draw towards educating others, then on to Franklin's Academy, his passion for the people, and some bonus information as well. On the back, there's references, a couple more quotes, and a couple more photos. Benjamin Franklin was born on January 6, 1703 in Boston, and is known for being one of our founding fathers. Franklin did more in his life than most men could even dream of. He invented with stoves, bifocals, the lightning rod. He signed the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution. Franklin only had 2 years of formal education. He started when he was 8. His parents couldn't afford it, so unfortunately they pulled him out when he was 10 years old. I believe this impacted Franklin's impact on education more than anything else. Instead of letting this get him down, Franklin continued to pursue his education. He was a self-taught man. He taught himself several languages when he was young, including Italian, French, a little bit of Spanish. The French language would later pay off in a big way for the United States of America, but more on that later. Franklin also had assistance from his older brother James, who taught Benjamin the printing trade. So from the ages of 12 to 17, Franklin worked as an apprentice under his brother. And during this time, Franklin taught himself how to read, how to do math, how to write. Shortly later, Franklin ran away from home and landed in Pennsylvania, where he would continue to educate himself and others, eventually creating the first ever subscription library. Franklin had such a passion for educating others, he also donated his own personal collection of books. Franklin would also go on to assist Dr. Bray. Thomas Bray was the main advocate to pursue education for African Americans. Franklin joined him in this pursuit. Franklin knew the theory of value. Franklin wanted his students to learn everything, but being a rational man, he knew they needed to learn what was most important to their lives. It was this way of thinking that Franklin developed a grammar school strictly focused on the English language rather than teaching the classical languages. Franklin once said, "Wise and good men are, in my opinion, the strength of the state." This was Franklin's goal for America. He knew it was a race towards education or chaos. Franklin believed in the learn by do approach. Franklin knew failing was the key to success. However, when it comes to teaching, Franklin was influenced by John Locke. John Locke believed in personal instruction and personal interaction with students. Locke believed every student should have a tutor. Franklin believed the same, that each individual learned a different way, so teaching should be personalized to the student to help them stay fully engaged in the process. With the creation of this grammar school, Franklin wanted to focus on the English language first and get away from forcing students to learn Latin or Greek because those languages will most likely not have an impact on a student's life. He stated that the second language should only be pursued if it would benefit the student's life or career. Franklin was eventually pushed towards adding additional curriculum to his academy. This grammar school would eventually become what's known today as the University of Pennsylvania. Franklin's impact on education and helping personalize it to the student had such an impact, there are numerous schools named after this great man, not alone federal and state buildings, and he's on the $100 bill. To close, as I said in the beginning, Franklin learning French paid off huge for the United States. Franklin built such a strong relationship with France, he eventually became a member of the Continental Congress And because of this relationship, France provided America with vital supplies during the American Revolution. One could say without this educator, we may not be sitting here in the United States today. Thank you for your time. I hope you have a blessed week and a great year.